Have you guys seen the latest Newsweek cover? Well,
yes, a little creepy.
Yeah, it is kind of creepy. It shows you what Princess Diana would look like today at her age as it would have been today. Take a look. It shows computer-generated image of Princess Diana as she might look today walking with what would have been her daughter-in-law, the former Kate Middleton. Now, it's to commemorate Diana's 50th birthday, which is Friday. In the issue, British journalist and Diana biographer Tina Brown imagines the late royal would have moved to New York, married 2 more times, used Botox, and had a Facebook account had she still been alive. Now, some say, well, kind of calling it classic. Others say it is creepy. It is wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
How do they even come up with those assumptions? You know?
Why would anybody say that?
Yeah.
Especially, let's honor her for her 50th birthday by saying that she'll have been married and divorced a number of times. And then superimpose her next to her, like, future daughter-in-law.
Very tabloidy, too. It wasn't like just a headshot.
Feel,
exactly.
Yeah, right.
It's just, you know.
It's wrong on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not a bus of Princess Diana.
No.
That was going to be on the
You're
bus
not
either.
creepy.
Yeah.
She can be creepy sometimes.
I can.
You know what? They aren't considering the other family members, her sons in particular. Right. I mean, it paints her as a very shallow person, too.
And
everybody
she really
changes.
wasn't.
No, even at that point, she was known for humanitarian efforts.
Right.
Yep.
I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
Don't buy the Newsweek.
Oh.
At least this week. Sorry. I feel very strongly about that one. Okay, here's one. Where do you stand in the battle over breastfeeding in public? Well, this is the woman. A woman in Michigan says a driver of a bus tried to force her off the bus last week because she was nursing her baby on board. African Moon says she was just trying to feed her 2-week-old son when the female driver ordered her to get off. When Moon refused, the driver called the police and pulled over until they arrived. Moon was not issued a ticket, but she did not get on the bus, back on the bus. Now, dozens of mothers are planning to stage a so-called nurse-in on public buses this Friday to show support for Moon. I'm surprised that this was #1, a female bus driver, and she showed no sympathy, empathy.
Right. Understanding,
and, you know, if she was trying to do it covertly, it's a 2-week-old baby.
Yes. Well, I mean, I understand that sometimes, yes, it can be a little uncomfortable when you see a woman breastfeeding, but never would I be like, you need to stop that, because they don't need to stop that at all. And I think if someone's uncomfortable with it, it's their own issue, not the mother's issue.
I agree. And I think if it was time for the baby needed to be fed at that point in time, then it has to happen. You have to be grown up about it. Let it happen.
Plus, what would you rather have, a breastfeeding mother or a screaming child?
And we've had that discussion, right?
Yeah.
Worst wines.
What would you do if it was on a plane? You know, you're not going to tell the person to get off for that.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
The controversy continues. Okay, now this is one of my pet peeves. Okay, the spring comes, the snow melts, I walk to my front yard, and what do I find? Piles of poop. I start cursing the owners who have left that. I'm sure it's happened to most of us. This might seem like an extreme solution, but some people are actually scooping up the doggy doo and sending it off to labs for DNA testing. An apartment complex in New Hampshire took DNA samples from every resident's dog in the complex and then kept them on file. Now, when someone doesn't clean up after their pup, the apartment manager can find out who the culprit was by getting that poop tested. The apartments will issue a warning before evicting guilty residents. Now, first of all, a cost issue. How much does that cost just for that?
Yeah, it can't be cheap. I like the idea only because I think once people know that their dog's stuff is going to be tested, they're not going to, they're going to keep more, better track of their dog. And I think it's a CSI episode waiting to happen.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, absolutely.
I do think it's funny, and you have to find the humor in it, but you always hear things about how life is not like CSI, and it's very expensive, and it takes a very long time to get things DNA tested. And I figure
like
if it's something that we're trying to do in courtrooms and for very important reasons that's expensive and takes a lot of money, why are we using it for dogs? Couldn't laboratories' time be better used?
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that. If you're going to try to solve that problem, it might solve that problem. I'm not saying it's the best way to do it, but,
Why don't they have at the complex, they'll sign something and say, if you ever are caught leaving the dog poop, you're going to be evicted.
Well, that works too, yeah.
You know? I don't know. It incenses me as well.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to now segue into you and your